Okay, we got to talk about networking events just for a minute. You know, like BNI groups or going to like a Chamber of Commerce meeting or some place where you get a chance to interact with other business owners and kind of refer leads to one another. Web designers need to shift the way we think about these networking events. Otherwise, you're going to commoditize your business and just be seen as like a garden variety web designer, and you're not going to get high ticket clients. You're going to get really low paying, low budget, high stress clients. And then if you try to raise your price, they're going to be like, oh, well, there's other web designers in other groups. I'll just go to someone else who's also a garden variety web designer but charges less than you. So what can you do to fix all of this? So the problem with these BNI groups and Chamber of Commerce meetings and stuff like that, you know how you go there and you have like, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute or something to kind of tell people what you do. And then throughout the week, all the members of the group are encouraged to set up these like one-to-one meetings where you have these independent meetings with just one other person throughout the week and kind of get to know who's who and so forth. Well, the problem is the mindset behind it is outdated for people like us, for people like you and me as web designers. It works great for like electricians and plumbers and maybe real estate agents, where all of those industries are pretty much already commoditized. And the way that you get leads from that is primarily based on trust. Like, do I like working with that real estate agent? Is that going to be a nice person? And if so, then great, right? Because there's other people that can take you to the same house or whatever. But when it comes to web design, it's not enough just to be a nice person, because the skills themselves shift. Like the results and the outcomes that you offer are different than what a garden variety web designer would offer. Here's what I mean by that. So if you go to one of these meetings and they say, what do? You don't need to hide what you do. It's not a secret, but just answer the question by saying that you help local businesses generate more qualified leads through a combination of web design and online marketing. Why couldn't you say something like that, right? So like you're kind of hitting at the results in the description of what you do. It's like local business owners, more qualified leads, web design and online marketing. People kind of get the gist of it, but it's a little bit more targeted than just being a web designer. And then immediately switch the spotlight to shine back on them and say, hey, why don't you tell me a little bit about your business? And maybe if you feel like there's something that's just not performing at the level that you want it to. And then they'll start telling you about their business. And since they're at a networking event, you can pretty much guarantee that lead generation is an aspect of their business that's probably not performing as well as they want it to. And since you're in the lead generation business, you can be almost guaranteed to be talking to someone who could benefit from your help. One thing to realize about this is that today, web design is marketing. I think a lot of people used to think of web design as maybe being software development or maybe just design heavy without really the marketing side behind it. But the truth is, if the client has a website or hires you to do some online marketing for them and they're not seeing more leads or getting more visibility or winning more customers, they're going to feel like something's not working. So the truth is, web design is marketing, and you are in the lead generation business, like it or not. That's just kind of where we are today in terms of landing high ticket clients. Because if you're not producing a positive return on investment, people aren't going to keep paying high ticket prices. But if you can solve the problem of how do you actually get leads for your clients and you package that up as a solution, I talk about this all the time. In fact, there's a link in the description right now where you can actually go through a whole course that I just set up, or it's not a whole course, it's like a video series, it's like a 45-minute video on exactly how to build a solution-first agency rather than just being a garden variety web designer so that you can land these higher ticket clients. But check that out, and that'll show you like the whole idea of being a solution-first agency. But the idea is you come up with a solution, like something that actually drives measurable results for your clients, and then you offer that, but you do it in the context of how can I help you? Not what services do I deliver, right? So like the goal to us as web designers is not to just have an opportunity to define what services we offer when we go to one of these one-to-one meetings or like a BNI group or something like that. The goal is to tell people how we can serve them. So when someone says, what do? You don't answer by saying what technical things you do. You say, these are the things I do to help you, right? Like the outcomes and the results. And when you flip the script a little bit like that, you're going to find that you get way better leads at much higher price points, and you're not seen as a garden variety web designer that just builds random websites for everybody. That's the trick. So when you come away from this, the main thing I want you to take away from this video today is that when you go to these meetings, You're not trying to educate the client on all the technical things you do and why they might want those technical services. The goal is to figure out what's going on in their business and how can you help solve that problem. And since you're talking in a networking group, probably one of the things on the front of everybody's mind is going to be lead generation. How do I get more leads and more clients into my business? And since web design really is marketing and lead generation, and if you've checked the link in the description, gone and made a solution first agency, you're going to have a solution that drives leads for people's businesses. So now the question is, well, what niches do you look for? Like what sectors of business can you really focus on to find like $10,000 clients? So check this next video and I'll give you like 4 guiding principles on what metrics to look for in a high ticket niche. And then we'll go through a bunch of awesome examples, like step-by-step examples of good versus bad niches. All right, so check the link in the description if you want to learn how to build a solution first agency, or check out this next video and I'll show you how to find $10,000 and up niches for web design.